Good afternoon. The April 3rd, 2025 regular board meeting of the City Colleges of Chicago is now called to order. Please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America
and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Will the chief advisor please call the roll?
Thank you. Chair Nukas,
Present.
Vice Chair Hatch,
Present.
Trustee Sanchez,
Here.
Trustee Hightower,
Present.
Student Trustee Ramirez.
Present.
Let the record show that in accordance with the Illinois Public Community College Act and the Illinois Open Meetings Act, we have a quorum. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the April 3rd regular board meeting. I would like to thank President Hollingsworth and the Olive Harvey team for hosting the Board of Trustees meeting this month. It is an honor to be back at Olive Harvey. As we celebrate the Diversity Month in April and recognize that a thriving society depends on celebrating our difference, I want to thank the students, faculty, and staff for all you do to ensure the success of everyone in our City Colleges of Chicago family. I would like to acknowledge and congratulate our Chancellor Juan Salgado on being named the Chair of the Board of Directors of the MacArthur Foundation. That's a great honor. To our student trustee, David Ramirez, whose term ends this month. Thank you so much for your commitment. David has served with distinction over his tenure, has been involved and engaged in the work of this board to a very high degree. Trustee Ramirez will graduate this semester. He will be attending the University of Illinois in Chicago, studying integrated health studies with a concentration in behavioral health in September. We're extremely proud of you. On behalf of your colleagues on the board, I would like to thank you for your service, and we continue and look forward to hear great things from you. That concludes my remarks for today, and you can please proceed with your report.
Thank you, Chair. Hello, everyone. I will begin with my student trustee report. Total number of events reported district-wide, 26, with 18 student socials, 5 community events, 1 resource event, and 2 advocacy events. So moving on to advocacy goals and highlights, I am proud to say that I have completed the majority, if not all, the goals that I had set for myself during my term, which included enhancing student engagement and awareness around academic and mental health resources, boosting awareness of DSJ and the student trustee position, continuing to encourage collaboration and engagement between City College campuses, continuing my monthly trustee visits to each of the campuses, fostering friendships, connections, and networking, and surveying all colleges on advocacy areas, including having all City Colleges participate in Advocacy Day. Moving on to announcements. Due to spring break being last week, many SGAs did not turn in reports for today's meeting. However, those that did will be reported. The ICCB SAC update is that Advocacy Day is just around the corner. As of March 2025, there's a reported amount of 40 to 50 students, staff, and faculty members that will be attending, with numbers still being determined as we have some last-minute signups. We are beyond excited to have City Colleges present at this year's Advocacy Day, with all 7 colleges and a reported amount of 200 to 300 students and faculty between the different community colleges across the state. So I will begin with the campus reports. So we will start with Harry S. Truman, total number of events, 4, with their highlight being the honors list breakfast on Wednesday, March 5th, where students on honors, presidentials, and dean's lists for the fall 2024 were celebrated and rewarded with a free breakfast and breakfast sandwiches that were funded by SGA. Another one was International Women's Day celebration that was on March 6th, and the Student Activity Center hosted a celebration for International Women's Day, providing a self-serve caricature, and that was also funded by SGA. The goals that SGA has addressed is funding and support for Women's History Month activities, extended invitation to the other campus organizations to organize the event. We move on with Olive Harvey. Sorry, just one second. Total number of events, 8. Advocacy goals were to increase the amount of SGA members and student engagement, increasing student engagement by adequate promotion and inclusion, with next semester goal acquiring new members and hosting events efficiently along with adequate promotion. They completed a recruitment of members and increased engagement across campus, and increasing the amount of SGA members and student engagement. A highlight is the panel discussion with the president and women of Olive Harvey. We move on to our next school, Kennedy King. Apologies. Total number of events, 5, with their highlights being that students stayed engaged through meaningful interactions and incentives with the SGA raffle table, boosting excitement and involvement via swag giveaways. Students were also encouraged to bring a friend who has never been to a general board meeting, and resources for student services, transfer, Project Safe, and more were shared, which fostered discussions and encouraged students to utilize campus services and safety and security. Clubs showcased their initiatives to raise awareness and build community, while access to campus resources empowered students' academic and personal growth. We move on to Malcolm X. Total number of events, 9. With 4 social events: the Art of Sisterhood Brunch, History Self-Care Workshop, Women's History Jeopardy, St. Patrick's Day Bingo, and 4 community events: Math Club Pie Day, Women's Affirmation Pop-Up, Project Safe, Bystander Intervention, and Crocheting Connections. Moving on to Wilbur Wright with 12 events. Their highlights were they celebrated Women's History Month by having an International Women's Club Day, where every club represented a very impacting and important women in history. They gave students fun fact cards, and each club had a fun activity to go along with their fun facts. They also participated in an activist fair for Women's History Month. And Wright had a movie night for Women's History Month, and they watched The Wild Robot. The SGA e-board also attended the ASACC conference in Washington, D.C. to learn more about advocating for other students and why it is important and what is the best way to go about advocating in general. And so now I have a few final words. So esteemed Board of Trustees, college presidents, and district officers, I trust that you are all well and comfortable. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for the incredible opportunity that you have given me to serve as your student trustee for this academic school year. Thank you for the trust that you have placed in me. I started my community college experience in fall of 2022 afraid, but who isn't, right? College is a very new yet different experience from high school, and I don't want to age myself, but class of 2018, we did it. My time in city colleges has been the most rewarding experience. I started as a senator at Daly's SGA in spring 23, and it was a quick jump out of my comfort zone because it required me to talk to people. Now, that's even scarier. However, through this experience, I learned that I had hidden skills, leadership skills. This prompted me to step up and become the treasurer of Daly Student Government Association for the 2023 to 2024 academic school year. I quickly discovered that leadership isn't just about sitting at the table. It's about making sure we're actively listening, learning, and at times negotiating for hours and hours with an Excel spreadsheet that doesn't want to cooperate. But we got the job done, didn't we? As I continued my education, I was informed that I would need to complete an extra year to graduate. This, of course, was not in my plans, but I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. At this time, I was also told that Daly was to hold the student trustee position, and I signed up immediately. Was I afraid? Yes. Was I anxious? Yes. Was I nervous? Yes, even as I speak to you all today. However, I felt the need and the calling to create an impact and leave my legacy, to give back, to speak for those who couldn't. I was also elected to be the chair for the Illinois Community College Board Student Advisory Committee. Throughout my time in these positions, I have learned that nothing worth doing comes without its hurdles. And let me tell you, I certainly hurdled a lot. I have faced various challenges from late nights, heartbreak, drama, family issues, uncooperative Word documents, slow CCC Wi-Fi, scheduling conflicts, and imposter syndrome that started to settle in. But even through it all, I had friends, fellow students, SGA members, SGA advisors, family, and others in my corner cheering me on. And together, we tackled advocacy with both heart and humor. We faced challenges with the same determination that students put into finishing their finals with 1 hour of sleep, which, let's be honest, it's an art form within itself. Even when things got tough, we kept pushing forward, always remembering why we're here, to ensure every student has a bright future ahead of them. I wanted to make an impact in my state, in my community, city colleges, my campus, no matter how small. Do I wish I could have done more? Do I wish I had more time? Absolutely. However, I'm so proud of the work I was able to accomplish and the legacy that I'm leaving behind. The legacy of advocacy, mental health awareness, raising student voices across the state, creating bridges and connections in DSGA, fostering growth and leadership, friendship, support, and empathy. I have so much respect and admiration for all 7 SGAs for the way they collaborate, support one another, and advocate for student needs, even when it means agreeing to disagree. They have made it clear that it's not just about getting things done, but it's about making sure that they make a difference. And I'm so proud to have been part of that, a part of that, guiding, leading, connecting, and creating friendships and greater connections. Since our last board meeting, I have been visiting all campuses, preparing SGAs with the help of our district advisors for Advocacy Day. Now, as I move forward in my transfer process and educational career at the old but young age of 24, I have exciting news. You will all see me sitting on that stage at graduation, as I have been admitted and accepted into the University of Illinois, Chicago. At UIC, I will be pursuing a major in integrated health studies with a concentration in behavioral health. I am driven to enter this field because of my own personal medical experiences, which have given me the inspiration to pursue a career in psychology. Being able to dive into the challenges of mental health and understand what influences behavior will give me the chance to make a real difference in the mental health field. I'm particularly drawn to the idea of being able to work with underserved populations who may currently lack access to the mental health resources that they need. As someone who has witnessed firsthand barriers to adequate care, I feel compelled to be part of the solution by offering accessible and compassionate support. I want to work as a mental health professional so I can directly support individuals and communities who need help. Whether it's therapy, raising awareness about mental health, or creating programs to improve access to care, I am focused on making a real impact in this field. As the student trustee for the City Colleges of Chicago, I have always prioritized mental health awareness and its resources, and I plan to keep advocating for both during and after my studies. My goal isn't only to succeed, but to also help those in need of mental health services, particularly those who may not have easy access to them. I want to be a role model for others, especially for those who are interested in careers in medicine, and I hope that my journey can inspire others to chase their dreams and overcome obstacles just as I have. As Henry David Thoreau once said, "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams, live the life you have imagined." At UIC, I will be doing just that, and who knows, I might just be the next student trustee for the University of Illinois, Chicago. So thank you, everyone, chancellor, board members, college presidents, district officers. I wish I had more time to connect, collaborate with each and every one of you. However, I wish you all continued success as you work in city colleges and a lifetime of Wi-Fi that never drops during a Zoom meeting. I will see you all soon, as I plan to visit from time to time. City Colleges has left its impact on me, and I can never forget that. With the utmost respect and the kindness of regards to you all, this is my final words. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Trustee Ramirez. Congratulations in your, you know, future career decisions, and again, we're extremely proud of you. Chancellor Salgado, please proceed with your remarks.
Chair Nukas, I feel that after those remarks, I shouldn't even give remarks. Honestly, Student Trustee Ramirez, your words were incredibly inspiring. You said leadership skills. My goodness, are we fortunate? And when I say we, I mean the City College's community. I mean the City of Chicago community, definitely UIC. We are so fortunate that you leaned into the leadership opportunities that you have leaned into, that you've discovered that thing that was already there, always there, and that you're owning it now, as something that you have to contribute. And I loved the fact that you spoke to your next journeys, and your next journeys including the professional commitments that you're making to yourself and to others, but also that you're including in there continued leadership, right? And continued inspired leadership. And I would just say you've been an incredible role model, I think, for other students, right? But also to us, right? This is how this works. We hope to be an example. I mean all of us, to our students. But they too are an example to us, and sometimes it's a, sort of a reminder for ourselves, of where we need to continue to grow, where we need to continue to strengthen. We see that in you as students. It's a virtuous circle, but it only happens when human beings like you decide to see the fact that there's a leadership opening and say, you know what, I'm going to be the one to step into it, right? This opportunity is made for me, and then you actually make the most of it. And so, on behalf of City Colleges of Chicago, I really want to thank you so much for stepping into that role, for doing such a wonderful job within it, and then to close it off today with such a reflective, inspiring moment. So I am going to ask you for your remarks, because we're going to have to memorialize them somewhere, right? They're powerful and important for us to preserve. And I have been reflecting myself, on the importance of preservation, preservation of, the history of what, is being done, and there's no better preservation than the voice of people. And at City Colleges, there's no better preservation than the direct voice of our students, okay? And within our students, there's no better preservation than the voice of the leaders that lead within our student body. So, thank you for kicking off, I think a new project of preservation of the voices of our students, and the rich and deep history that this institution has on this city. And it has it on this city because, like you, there are generations of people that have come through this institution, whether they've come through it as students, faculty, and staff that have made an important mark on the world, and you will continue to make an incredibly important mark on the world in the future. So thank you. All right, big round of applause. I did have some other remarks, but, and I do want to give them, because it is Community College Month. So happy Community College Month to everybody. First of all, I do want to thank President Hollingsworth and the Olive Harvey College team for hosting us today. But I also want to thank Chair Nukas and the entire Board of Trustees, because they love coming out to the colleges, okay? They just love it, okay? And so we went years and years, I think, without ever hosting a board meeting here, okay? Like, and now we had, you know, the second board meeting in, right? Couple months. So, and it's a really good thing, right? So anyway, but thanks you for hosting us. For all of you, you're gonna, you know, get used to this because this board really enjoys coming out and being in our college communities. And so thank you to the Board of Trustees for your commitment to making sure that you're coming out to do this. Look, Al Harvey was also just named one of the 16 most promising places to work in community colleges by the National Institute for Staff and Organizational Development and Diverse Issues in Higher Education. So congratulations to you and the team. We do have much to celebrate today. Again, our enrollment is up again. Spring 2025 combined credit in adult education is up 10.1% from spring 2024 to 2025, exceeding the Illinois Community College average of up 8.9%. And that's great news for us, but it's also great news for community colleges during Community College Month. Look, it's every day a new day as it relates to community colleges and the strength that we've always had, but the strength that is now being noticed more and more every day by others. All colleges were up. Black and Latinx student enrollment is up as well, which is important. This is the 6th consecutive semester that we've seen increases, and it comes after a fall increase of 10% compared to the prior year. You know, I'm also pleased to announce that we recently came to a tentative agreement for a new collective bargaining agreement with ASME 3506, which we believe benefits both City Colleges of Chicago and our adult educators, and allows us to continue to grow the success of our adult education program. I want to thank EVC DePalia and the team for their thorough presentation during the committee meeting on our mandatory new student advising big play. We have several big plays that we are putting into place district-wide to make sure that we are reaching our goals as an institution and helping our students to reach their goals as individuals. We want more of our students to complete, get to the finish line, and do like Trustee Ramirez, transfer or head into the workforce. And so this report on new student advising highlighted the excellent progress we have made to ensure new students attend a critical early meeting with their advisor in their first term. Congratulations are also in order for Vice Chair Marshall Hatch for involvement in the National Public Housing Museum. Thank you for your leadership. Again, you know, so important for us to be memorializing, you know, and documenting, and particularly at this period of time, we need to do that. And you have been, you know, not just, you know, creating new things to be documented, but also making sure that the work that we've experienced in our city in the past has been memorialized. So we look forward to visiting the exhibit depicting your childhood home at the National Public Housing Museum. And so if you want to learn more about that, please talk to Vice Chair Marshall Hatch. Four city colleges, Harry S. Truman, Harold Washington, Malcolm X, and Wilbur Wright colleges have been recognized as 25-26 military-friendly schools, a distinction that highlights their dedication to supporting student veterans and active duty service members. And we're extremely proud of the work we do all across city colleges as it relates to our veterans. It's something that we have invested in for many years, and we will continue to invest in well into the future. And so to get these recognitions is an important marker that we're doing all of the right things as an institution. Of course, we have to and want to and are extremely elated to congratulate the Olive Harvey Lady Panthers basketball team. All right? and Coach Jeff Dillard on their historic season. The team went to the Nationals and ended the season with an unprecedented record of 33-2. And, you know, there you see the, you know, hardware that was won. And boy, it was just, they took Chicago too, news and, radio, and, everybody was following the Lady Panthers, all the way to the national championship. They really represented us, so well. I heard from so many people that they were the talk of the national championship, Obviously, not because they won the title, but because they won the people. They showed up with presence, and represented Chicago. They represented Chicago city colleges, right? But they represented our city, right? And anyone that was out there, sometimes some things are said about our city, right, that are false and incorrect and uninformed, right? But guess what? Our Lady Panthers and the delegation that went out there showed them differently, right? And so, I want everybody to know, that everywhere they went, whether a hotel or a restaurant or they were in the stands, and they did us really proud. And of course, on the court, they did us really proud. And mostly, as a united team, they did us really proud. And if there's anything to learn, from that experience is, we've said it many, many times here at City Colleges, we're stronger together, 7 strong. We do better when we're together. We win more when we're together. we achieve more when we're together, okay? And so thank you to the team for, reminding us of that, as well. It's another way, like Trustee Ramirez, that, our students show us the way, okay? 20 City College students were just announced as semifinalists for the prestigious Kent Cook Transfer Scholarship. And we always have among the most, finalists in the whole state. And then we have among the most winners in the state as well. So we can't wait to hear about the winners. But this is a fully paid scholarship to transfer to a four-year institution. It's worth quite a bit. Through the work led by President Sanders and the Malcolm X College team, students have also had the chance to visit Ghana. And this Friday, another student group will leave from Malcolm X headed to France. Later this year, other groups will visit Tanzania and Portugal. Our students are every day getting more opportunities to engage in experiences that would not otherwise be able to have. And so thank you to you and the team, President Sanders, for that. In early March, 30 City Colleges students, staff, and faculty members took a trip to visit historic civil rights sites in Alabama. I understand that students learned a great deal from the experience, and thank you to Chief of Staff Herrero and VC Jen Mason and her team for helping to oversee what was an incredible trip. I too have been busy throughout the spring break as well. I had the honor this week to attend a state trade mission to Mexico led by Governor Pritzker, during which I presented to Mexican companies on the opportunity for workforce partnerships with city colleges and the Illinois community colleges. And prior to that, during a portion of spring break, I attended a city-organized mission to Japan that the mayor invited me to take part in, during which I had the chance to meet with several firms and support the Chicago Sister Cities Partnership. And you all will hear some of, I think, some good fruits that have come from those experiences that will directly impact our students and our community in the future. A group of students will head down to Springfield, as you heard already, next week as part of Advocacy Day. And so we're just delighted that that is occurring, and that there's just so much participation this year as well. I do want to make sure that everyone's aware that there's currently legislation under consideration in the state legislature that would allow community colleges to offer bachelor's degrees in high-demand fields. City Colleges supports this legislation. We are working alongside the governor and his team towards the legislation's passage. We believe this will allow us to serve more students, especially in fields like healthcare, manufacturing, and early childhood education. You know, this is good for higher education as a whole. Anyone that tells you otherwise doesn't have a handle of the facts or doesn't want to have a handle of the facts. And so if you know of someone that doesn't want to, that doesn't have a handle of the facts, we have all the facts and all the information about how this has been done in many, many other states, and how it will be fruitful in the state of Illinois as well. Okay? So more to come on that. April is always a busy month at City Colleges. This is a wonderful month leading up to commencements for us to celebrate our students' accomplishments. So we have many, many opportunities to do that at court ceremonies and other student-led events and celebrations. And so we invite you all to participate in what will be a celebratory April and a celebratory May, leading into a celebratory June. And then all of a sudden, time goes by real fast, and it's summer already. So thank you all, and that concludes my remarks.
Thank you, Chancellor Salgado. We have 4 requests for public participation today. When your name is called, please proceed to the podium where you will have up to 3 minutes to make remarks on the subject that you indicated in your communication to the board office. The chief advisor will notify you when you've used the 3 minutes of your time, and we ask that you kindly bring your remarks to a close. As you register, you were reminded of our procedures with regards to the nature of your comments, and I would ask you to respect and adhere to that direction and the time requirement. Chief Advisor, please proceed with the speakers.
Thank you. Dr. Rochelle Robinson Dukes.
Good afternoon, all. I must say it's wonderful to teach 2 classes and then walk across the street and go to a board meeting. So I appreciate Dr. Hollingsworth, who is a supreme leader of Olive Harvey College, for hosting this month. As a member of, a faculty member of the City Colleges, I am also a member of the Illinois Federation of Teachers, which has stated its stance on how Project 2025 will negatively impact higher education. The AIT views Project 2025 as a threat to publication because it potentially will lead to narrow curriculum, attacks on teachers and unions, reduced funding for public schools, which would affect our low income and students with disabilities, in federal government student loans programs, such as the Parent Plus loans, income-based repayment, and public service loans, in Title I protection for our female, LGBTQ, and other students, and then also restrictions on academic freedom, including banning of books or teaching about curriculum that they deem that is too sensitive, and any political issues. As the VP of the union, I don't want to see any of our professors negatively impacted by this agenda. I don't want to see African American studies professors or Latin American studies professors or gender professors being targeted by what is termed woke, the woke scare, like so many professors were targeted after the second Red Scare of the World War II. Similarly, I don't want to see our colleges, all 7 of them, lose any federal funding for the professional positions that we have because it is being targeted perhaps for being woke or having a woke curriculum. We see how being labeled woke is impacting international students, local professors in Ivy League and state institutions, and students are being detained, and 4 universities and their visas are being revoked. There is a fear. There is a fear of immigration officers entering our schools. And when ICE comes for the undocumented and the green card holding students, the first line of defense at the city colleges are the brave men and women of our security department. These men and women protect our people, our buildings, and our values. God bless the brave men and women of our security team who are bargaining in good faith to attain equitable contracts. These security officers' voice is essential for the safety of our colleges, and their work is valuable and vital. Let us work towards fairly negotiating the security contract so we can avoid more chaos and destruction that's going on across this landscape. Let's resolve the security contract and other upcoming contracts like OMD, which will allow us, the administration, the unions, the faculty, the students, to come together and work on protecting the academy. We have to protect the academy. No one else will. And we have to make sure that our people are taken care of, like the security of the city colleges. Thank you.
Todd Lakin.
Good afternoon. I'm Todd Lakin. I've been at City Colleges for 27 years, first at Daly, and the past 11 years at Malcolm X College, where I teach Spanish. And recently, I've taken on an additional role within the union as one of its member organizers. In fact, I got to sign up one of your basketball players, Kanaya Gardner, who is a member of our union. This academic year, I have focused on signing up the non-members in the city colleges, especially the security officers. And in my experience, the most difficult to sign up are the part-time professionals and the security officers, some for obvious reasons, irregular schedule, odd hours, late nights, weekend schedules, work, you get the idea. Also, in my experience, the security officers are the most jaded and skeptical when a union a member approaches. Why should I pay dues to the union? I already pay them in my full-time job. And who are you? I don't know you. I'm both happy and frustrated to report that my job signing up security officers to Local 1600 has never been easier. And why is that? When I explain to them how paltry the raises that are being offered are, they ask, how do I sign up? So thank you, City Colleges, for making my job easier and to grow our membership. Much appreciated. But I'm also very, very frustrated that these negotiations are going very poorly. Board members, let me ask you, who welcomed you into Olive Harvey College today? Goes without saying that the first interaction for most of our potential students, our returning students, and our community members is with our security officers. They are the initial point of contact. Our security officers are the ones who give incoming students their very first impression of city colleges. Do we really want to continue nickel and diming them? It's way too easy not to see security officers. They're like background noise, right? But they're always there quietly doing their job, so we do not have to worry. But when something bad happens, they're the first ones that we call. Locked out of a room? Call security. Students getting disruptive? Call security. And heaven forbid if there's an active shooter, we're told to run away, lock our office doors, and hide while they run towards it. Here's the rub. Not only are security officers a vital component to the City Colleges experience, but they are also fundamental to the image that the City Colleges wants to project, an inclusive, safe, and welcoming space for Chicagoans and its visitors. What these negotiations have brought into high relief is that security's contribution to the City Colleges go far beyond simply protecting us. They play a holistically integral role in nearly every aspect of the City Colleges. It's time to value our security officers for what they do and what they bring. Thank you.
Tony Johnston.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Tony Johnston. I'm the president of Local 1600. And of course, I am here speaking in support of our security officers and assistants. In our last visit here in February, we said we needed to see bargaining in earnest. And after that board meeting, we did see some. Things did improve. However, in our last negotiating session, things took a turn for the worst. Our team made serious movement and actually withdrew proposals, ones that were important to us, but we knew we needed to do it to move the process forward. We thought that this would produce some movement from your team. We were dismayed when they came back and said they had nothing more to offer or to counter. We are still very far away on salary, and your team refuses to consider our safety proposals, claiming management rights. But our proposals are not making any final decisions on staffing, equipment, and training. They are simply allowing our members to have a voice to allow for a discussion on what would make our colleges as safe as possible. Isn't it logical to get the opinions of people actually doing the job of helping students and making them safe? We believe our security officers and assistants, with their years of experience and training in law enforcement, are the perfect partners to be discussing these matters because they are on the front lines and they are in the trenches every day. They understand what makes our colleges vulnerable and want to be part of the solution. City Colleges has rejected proposals that are integral to our campus safety. We are here to send a message that for the sake of the safety of our students and colleges, our security officers need a voice. These workers deserve a fair contract that recognizes their essential role in our community. It is unacceptable that negotiations have stalled while security officers continue to work without the fair wages, benefits, and protections they deserve. I urge the administration and the board to take negotiations seriously and reach an agreement that respects these workers and their contributions. We have our next negotiating session on April 14th. It is our hope that we can shift into a new phase of bargaining in earnest and collaboration. The safety and security of the city colleges depends on it. Thank you.
Luis Jimenez.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Lou Jimenez. I'm from Malcolm X College. Schools should have the security guards to ensure the safety and the well-being of students, staff, administrators, and visitors. We can all agree on that. Security guards spend much of their time walking and patrolling large areas and act as ambassadors for each campus. Guards provide a much-needed and valuable service for their employers. They can guard anything from a business center to property and help protect business assets and prevent loss. Guards, more importantly, protect human lives. Guards are the front line of defense between the outside chaotic world and the professional academic environment that we all strive for every day. There is no regular police that will be responding on time to any event. It will be too late. So it'll be up to us, safety and security. Security guards and officers do have similar duties, but officers, active and retired, might oversee a team of guards. As an example, they schedule shifts, allocate training resources, evaluate performance, and provide critical support and experience for the team. Safety and security personnel can potentially encounter high-stress situations like dealing with emergencies, confrontations, potential threats, which can be challenging to manage. So much for just customer service. Guards need to be super mindful of their mental health while on the job. This ties into our common sense proposals of adding PTO, personal time off days, which just puts us on par with other CCC professional contracts. Chicago has already remedied the issue of having the ability of providing language skill sets. Example, police officers receive specialist pay for interpretation of different languages, a pay increase of 3 to 5% of their salary per year. Example, I made $110,000 at one point. To 3 to 5% is about $3,300 a year. CCC Safety and Security is proposing a $1 an hour increase. That's $8 a day. For 3 days, it's $24 a week. 40 weeks is $960. As compared to buying each school an interpreter phone or a tablet for each school, and then just the cost of maintenance alone is incomprehensible. More importantly, it takes away the personal interaction with the potential student and visitor, the potential of the interaction. The police department does not differentiate on what percentage of the members speak other languages. CCC prides itself with diversity, and the target demographics has been Spanish has been the largest influx of language in our city. It is just a valuable tool to have and should be acknowledged since it's not a requirement for employment. Employers and their companies typically show appreciation for these services through unique benefit packages and competitive wages. The key word is unique, not industry, cookie cutter, and the same as everyone else wages. Using your own quote from your website, quote, City Colleges values and actively promotes diversity. We believe diversity enhances the richness of the educational experience and leads to understanding, tolerance, and appreciation of the differences embodied in each of us. We believe that faculty and staff,
Time
which
is over.
includes security, should reflect the demographics of our student body. Thank you for everything, and I hope we can finish this contract sooner than later, because safety should never be an issue between us. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair, that ends our public participation period.
Thank you. Due to FC4 President's work schedule, there will not be attending the meeting today. However, the report will be entered into the record. There will not be a district update. Vice Chair Hatch, please proceed with your committee report.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. In our committee meeting today, Dr. R.T. Dupelia, Jackie Warner, and Kiera Bowens presented on the mandatory new student advising strategy that was launched to support growth and equity in student retention, completion, and post-completion outcomes. We also reviewed the minutes, resolutions, personnel report, resource development report, agreements, purchases, and legal invoices included on today's academic affairs and student services agenda as part of the consent agenda to this April 3rd, 2025 regular board meeting. Chair Nukas, this concludes my report.
Thank you, Vice Chair Hatch. We will now proceed to consider the items on the April 3rd, 2025 consent agenda. This month, all items for board action are on the consent agenda, which is printed on the paper that can be picked up outside this room. I would note again for the record that these items were discussed in detail in the committee meeting preceding this board meeting, as noted by Vice Chair Hatch during his committee report. Does any trustee have questions or comments on any of the items listed on the consent agenda or wish for separate action on any of these items? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the minutes, resolutions, personnel report, resource development report, agreements, purchases, and legal invoices contained in the consent agenda and identified as part of the printed agenda on a single roll call vote?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing no nays, the motion carried. Thank you. Will the chief advisor call the roll?
Chair Nukas,
Approved.
Vice Chair Hatch,
Approved.
Trustee Sanchez,
Approved.
Trustee Hightower,
Approved.
Student Trustee Ramirez.
Approved.
Thank you all. Let the record show that the minutes, resolutions, personnel report, research development report, agreements, purchases, and legal invoices included on the printed April 3rd, 2025 consent agenda have all been approved. Now, and in accordance with the Illinois Open Meetings Act, the board may hold a closed session for the discussion of matters related to a number of specified topics. Today's closed session will be for the discussion of matters related to the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body. collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees. Litigation when an action against, affecting, or on behalf of the particular public body has been filed and is pending before a court or administrative tribunal, or when the public body finds that an action is probable or imminent, in which case the basis for the finding shall be recorded and entered into the minutes of the closed meeting. May I have a motion to go into a closed session with a roll call vote?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Here no nays, the motion carried. Will the chief advisor please call the roll?
Chair Nukas,
Approved?
Vice Chair Hatch,
Approved.
Trustee Sanchez,
Approved.
Trustee Hightower,
Approved.
Student Trustee Ramirez.
Approved.
Let the record show that the closed session motion has been approved. We'll be back. The April 3rd, 2025 regular board meeting is now reconvened. There was no action taken during closed session, which requires action in open session. There being no further business to come before the board, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Here no nays, the motion carried. We are adjourned.